Uh, Josie Altidore is past it. He's past it. He's been in a slumping form for our team since 2013, and he just doesn't have the same energy anymore. He's the kind of attacker who likes to win challenges. He's a very physical right hand flank kind of player, and he's just unable to do it with the same tenacity that he's been doing it for several years for our side. Um, he cannot play the full 90 minutes anymore either. I think you can put him on the field for 90 minutes, but you can really tell by minute 55 or 60 he's exhausted. So he's definitely seen better days, which is really unfortunate because it's like when you have a family member that is so full of life and adventurous, and as they get older, they just lose the energy, they just lose that spark in them. He's not old, I think he's in his mid-20s, but his form in general, ever since he left Sunderland, is just way bad. It's just not good. And he's become sort of a liability for the team. You know, looking at this game overall, though, the first half was generally disappointing. I thought we started off okay in the first 10-15 minutes. We kept Trinidad back in their own half. They looked entirely lost, unable to do anything. The formation they've had looked like it was an 8-2-1. um, but then after that, when we didn't put away our chances, we really allowed them to come back into the game, and you just can't do that. They found their footing, and we were really fortunate not to go behind at the half, down 1-0, 2-0. I thought Trinidad created the better chances, the better opportunities to score in the first half. I believe it was Jovine Jones, who plays in the MLS. He hit the crossbar for Trinidad and Tobago, and he received a header off an opportunity that should have never existed. He was left wide open. The defense in this game for the United States in the first half was absolutely atrocious. And we played too high of a line. I think that's the reason why. We played a very high line, and you just don't do that against a physically stronger, faster side like Trinidad and Tobago. Um, so that was mistake number one. So we were a little bit lucky that there were no goals at all in the first half. If both teams put away their chances they had, this could have easily been like a game that ended 5-2 or 6-3 or more. Second half was much better, although Bruce Arena did not change the lineups. He just gave them a prep talk, and Pulisic worked his magic, got us the 2 goals, got us the 3 points. But here's where I'm worried. If you look at the United States' 8 goals, the last 8 goals the United States have scored in World Cup qualifying and friendlies. I saw the statistic on Twitter through Paul Carr of ESPN FC. He said Pulisic has scored 4 of the last 8 goals. He's assisted 3 of them, and another goal that was made was from a free kick he had took that someone else had got on the end of it to put in the back of the net. And that is a little bit startling to me because I don't want the United States to become a team that is over reliant on one potential rising star. Christian Pulisic is undoubtedly going to become the best U.S. men's team player within the next 1 to 2 years, in my opinion. I think only a couple more years. Right now, Clint Dempsey, I would still argue, is our most important player, but he's not getting younger either. I think he's 32. So that mantle is really going to pass to Pulisic. And here's what I'm worried about. I don't want our goal scoring ability up front to be dependent on Christian Pulisic. Because if you look at the history of American soccer, that's not what the United States has been about. We're not typically a team that relies on one player to see us through. The United States, it's hard to explain to non-US fans, but the United States has always been typically a team that, although we don't have very many world-class players, if any at all, we still perform well generally because our sum is better than our parts. You know that expression, the sum are better than the parts. the collective effort of our team through pragmatic tactics usually sees us outperform expectations from what you would think from the individuals that we have on our team. That's why we got to the semifinals of the Copa America Centenario last summer. It was not because the United States was the fourth best team in that tournament. No, we were not the fourth best team in that tournament. We got to the semifinals because we played very smart tactics. And that was mainly due to Jurgen Klinsmann, in my opinion. But I just think that while having Christian Pulisic on our squad is a blessing because we've never had anyone quite like him, especially with those dribbling skills, I just don't want him to become the centerpiece of our team. That's just what I want. I don't want him to become the centerpiece of our team. For those very same reasons, because you look at a team like Portugal. Yeah, Portugal is loaded with talent, young talent, especially as we saw last year at Euro 2016. But they have only one superstar on their team, Cristiano Ronaldo. Something like that becoming like a Portugal light, a Portugal, yeah, I think that's the right word to use, Portugal light. I don't want that because that's not our identity. That's never been the U.S. men's national team's identity. And I don't ever want that to become our identity. So, as far as this game goes specifically, the second half was a lot better. We did a more efficient job at really limiting Trinidad and Tobago's chances to come back into the game. But I thought they were unfortunate not to score, to be honest. I think Trinidad deserved at least 1 or 2 goals in this game. And this was a crucial win because next week we play Mexico on Tuesday in Mexico City. That's going to be an incredibly difficult game. We arguably played our quote-unquote easiest game this week, and we're playing our hardest game of the Hex next week. So there needs to be some kind of change. And honestly, I think one of the most essential aspects of the change that we need would be to change out Michael Bradley. Because in the midfield, he's giving away the ball too much. We lost a lot of our possession in the first half because Michael Bradley had so many turnovers. So Bradley and Josie Altidore really are becoming a hindrance on the team. And I really don't like saying that at all because they used to be the 2 most essential chest pieces that we had in our squad. But they're just not in great form right now. And if we take them down to Mexico City, I'm a little worried. Part of my my hope and my optimism, though, is Bruce Arena saved Bobby Wood for the Mexico game next week. So we are going to have more attacking flair when we go down to Mexico City. He did rest up Bobby Wood for the Trinidad match. So we are going to see him on Tuesday. I'm hoping that gives our forwards a little bit more bite, so it's not just Christian Pulisic having to win every ball in the final third. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, this game, the first half was very forgettable. Second half was an improvement, but I'm just worried that we could be seeing the beginning stages of an over-reliance on one player, and I don't want that to happen.